Welcome to YT Preacher. I am J-Man. I'll be your YT Preacher. Today, we are looking at the whole of Genesis. So, as I've been saying, I'm going to be going straight through Genesis to Revelation. When it comes to actually what I'm doing, when I get to a new book, Genesis is a new book, I'm going to kind of explain a little bit about the book. Why is it called Genesis? What's the purpose of it being called Genesis? If you understand that the word Genesis means beginnings or newness, then you can see that Genesis means that it's about fresh starts, about the beginning. The first words in this book are in the beginning. That's the first three words, in the beginning. It's like any good story, in the beginning. But what else is important about this? What else do we have beginnings of in Genesis? Well, we see creation. We have the beginning of sin. We have the beginning of the 12 tribes. We have language. We have law. We have murder. We have Egypt, Israel, punishment. We have the promised land. We have relationships. There's other beginnings in Genesis as well. Like I talked about language, when we look at the Babel, we see the beginning of trying to build something big, and that's why we get language there. We've got sin in Genesis 3. We've got the first murder. In Genesis 3 is the fall of man. A little bit later is the first murder. I think that's 4. And that's where law was one of the early laws right there. But what else is important about Genesis? There's a lot of important things about Genesis. Genesis is tended to be believed that it was written by Abraham, but it could have been written by anybody we may not know who actually wrote it. By Abraham or by Moses. There's a point in Moses' life where he goes up on a mountain. We'll talk about that. I think maybe that's when he could have gotten the instruction to write down all of this, because it does have to do with law. A lot of it does. In fact, even Genesis 1, when we get into that, we can talk about where the law is in that, how we can use law for that. Because Genesis is in a segment of books known as the Mosaic Law. It's in the Pentateuch. The first 5 books of the Bible are about law. They're the Pentateuch. And so that's where it falls. And then it's got the beginning of a lot of stuff, including a law. So we know that law is important to what's going on, at least for Jewish culture. And so as we look at this, we'll kind of figure that out. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk a little bit about what Genesis is about. So when we go into Genesis, when I finally do start Genesis 1:1, you've got some background on what's going on. So thank you guys for watching. I know there's a lot of stuff here. I hope it's not just fluff. I hope you really get into what's going on. Again, thank you for watching as I've changed my name to YT Preacher. If you got any questions, comments, anything that you know that I didn't say, put that in the comment section down below. Anything that you've thought about since I've said that. If you've made this a devotional, put some devotional thoughts in there. Help somebody else's devotional out. Thank you all for watching, and God bless.